How's it going? David from Comic Book Investments. So got some stuff back from CGC, and also a big thank you to everyone that participated in our auction. It just ended and I have a lot of work to do. Been shipping all day and I have shipping more. Tons of shipping to do, get out your books. I figured I'd jump on and do this video, even though this is the second time I did this video because I did this yesterday and the sound wasn't working. So I have to re-record it. So hence why they're already out of their cases. But let's go backwards. So, I don't know what to say. I'm just joking. What do we got here? I have no idea what these are. Silver Surfer 15. I thought it would be 9.2, got a 9.0, $4.99. Again, you can check out all this stuff on collectorscomics.com. Silver Surfer 13 and 8.5. I got a bunch of these. $2.59. What do we got? Silver Surfer number 9. Got a lot of Silver Surfers. $2.99. If I'm not saying the grade, it's because it came back the grade I was thinking. What do we got here? Silver Surfer 8. Thought it'd be 9.2, got an 8.5, so not good. $2.49. By the way, all these books, I sent them a year ago. Yes, I sent them November of last year. Silver Surfer 7, $2.59. Yeah, the auction was pretty good. Everything went really, there's only really one kind of bug that I think we found. Nothing that was like changing it. It wasn't really a bug. It was, I think after everyone won their items, if you were the one that consigned the item, it gave you an email saying, like basically like congratulations, you won this item. But it meant to say the emails meant to say you sold this item for X, blah 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 blah. So that was it. There's this, just a few words that need to be switched around. Was it Silver Surfer 5? $1.59. Silver Surfer 2. I think I had this as a kid. I think this is the only Silver Surfer comic I had as a kid. I think, anyways. Thought it'd be 7.0. $1.59. Yeah. I did a video last week talking about how I thought it was pretty dumb that they used Agatha as her own TV show. I'm like, why? Like, there we go. This is a good one. And it's it's not even D list. It's like E, F, I don't know. And then I was thinking, I was like, they have so many cooler characters to pull from. Why don't they do a Silver Surfer TV show? It'd be fantastic. I could be wrong. I didn't think Peacemaker would be a good show, but I actually loved it. It's probably one of the best superhero TV shows that I can think of off the top of my head. Watchmen was pretty good, actually. But yeah, I was very surprised at Peacemaker. I thought, I was like, but at least Peacemaker has somewhat of a following. Might be small, but a lot more than Agatha. It's like, really? So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be great because, face it, most of the MCU shows they've been okay, but nothing like, oh my gosh. Okay, for example, me and my wife were watching Yellowstone. Fantastic show. We started with 1883 and got hooked, and now we're watching Yellowstone. We literally got Peacock just so we could watch the old seasons and start from the beginning, and it's a fantastic show. So the MCU's nothing compared to anything Yellowstone's put out. By the way, Yellowstone's like the #1 TV show around. What is this? Batman 234. Thought it'd be an 8.0, got an 8.5, $7.49. So if you haven't seen Yellowstone, I highly recommend it. Batman and the Beatles. What's that saying? I forget the saying. But anyways, interesting enough, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of hate after this comment. Oh, hot take. I'm not that big of a Beatles fan. I'm not. I know a lot of people are, but I don't know. I grew up with the Beatles because my dad would listen to them, but I much rather I by far, not even close, like the Beach Boys way more than Beatles. Way more. Like, there's a couple songs that I like of the Beatles, like Hey Jude. I like that song. One. I mean, it's not like they don't have good songs, but if I had the opportunity to see the Beach Boys or the Beatles, 100 times over, I would see the Beach Boys. I don't know. I'm just not that big of a Beatles fan. I don't know. $4.99 for that one. So I'm gonna get much hate. I grew up listening to what my dad listened to when I was younger. But the bands that I did like that are from like that era, Frankie Valli. I love Frankie Valli. Funny thing, actually, I got to roadie for Frankie Valli like 10, 12 years ago, and he is short. He's like, I don't know, like 4'1". He's not that short, but he's really, really short. So I got to roadie for him, and so then I like bring the stuff on stage. He had the Four Seasons, but the Four Seasons are all like younger. He's like, I don't know, like late 70s, early 80s at this point when I watched him, and all the Four Seasons are like 25 years old guys. And so he's singing. It was great. I was backstage watching him, and then we went to like an after party. And I remember this. We're at the after party, and I'm like talking, have a drink in my hand, and all this kind of stuff. And my friend's like, or the person I was helping, Rody, was like doing some stuff, and then he comes to get me. He's like, "Hey, Dave, we've got to go now." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was drinking, and I turn, and hits me, and I'm like talking, and I turn and walk, and something hits me like right here. I'm like, "Oh," and it's Frankie Valli. And I think I spilled my drink a little bit on him. But yeah, I was like, what? Oh, sorry, jeez. But yeah, I like Frankie Valli. I grew up listening to music. I'd always steal the tape from my dad. I'm getting off topic. What am I? Avengers 57. $2.99. But yeah, not a big Beatles fan. Frankie Valli, Beach Boys, all the way. Avengers 55, First Ultron, $2.19. But yeah, I can't believe these came back a year ago. Dane Whitman becomes the Black Knight, $6.79. But anyways, back to the Silver Surfer thing. They should make a TV show about Silver Surfer. Now, I know. Fantastic Four hasn't been introduced. You don't need to introduce Fantastic Four to have Silver Surfer. This is how it starts off. Episode 1. It shows Galactus destroying a planet, and then you see people like dying and torment happening from a reflection, because Silver Surfer is like chrome basically. You can reflects from the reflection and from his eyes, like kind of like that kind of thing. And then after that, that's like your hook to get people in. Death and destruction. And then Silver Surfer goes to Galactus, and he's like, "Oh, nice feed," or whatever. I just think of him as the walrus from Alice in Wonderland, right? He eats all the clams. He's all fat, and he's like, "All right, go find me another planet." So then he goes, finds another planet. This planet, he goes down, mingles with the people. Like, that's what the show's about, him like mingling with the people of the planet. Put in something. He has to like figure out if this is a suitable planet. But in order to do that, he has to be on the planet for a while. Anyways, down on the planet, mingles with people. Then Galactus comes, destroys that planet. And then every time this happens, Silver Surfer gets more and more like heartbroken and like, I don't like this, all this kind of stuff. And then he kind of has like an argument with Galactus, like, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Remember what I will do to your planet if you disobey me." Obviously his planet was about to be destroyed, and so he went to Galactus and said, "Let me work for you and spare my planet." And so then episode 3, that's what you get. He's flying to another planet, and you basically get his whole origin story, how it happened to him and his life on his planet and all that kind of stuff. So then episode 4 and 5, he goes to another planet and mingles with people. He helps him out. Like he attaches himself to this woman that reminds him of his wife. And so then he helps them out, and they're like these little villagers, and there's these bad people trying to attack him. And he just kind of like, he kind of like helps around, uses his powers and does good and stuff like that. That's for like 2 episodes. And then the last episode, 6, Then Galactus comes and destroys that planet, but he begs for them not to, and he's like, I'm sorry, it's either this planet or your planet. So then he attacks, and eventually, Silver Surfer loses, and then Galactus destroys that planet, and of course he's heartbroken again and more broken. And then at the end, he goes, all right, I found another planet for you. It's called Earth. I want you to go there. So then that will lead into Fantastic Four movie number 2, where you get Silver Surfer and Galactus. So then you get this whole backstory, so you don't have to like delve into any origin or anything like that. Fantastic Four number 1, the movie will probably be Doctor Doom, things like that. I think that'd be fantastic. Way better than anything they're going to do with Agatha Harkness. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you think that story would be cool to see other than Agatha. Would you rather see this Silver Surfer TV show, or would you rather see Agatha TV show? I don't care. I don't really care. I'm not even big into like witches and stuff like that. Did I do this one? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're okay, but first Deathlock. Sorry, I ranted. Thought it'd be 7-0, 239. But yeah, Silver Surfer is great. I've always wanted, I have this book where I write down like ideas for songs that I write. And I want to write the song because to me, Silver Surfer is it'd be very, I don't know how to say the word I'm looking for, but very lonely. It's a very lonely job that he has, because after he does the bidding of Galactus and destroys the planet, he has to reflect on all that's happened as he goes hurtling through space, the void of space, empty, no one around but him and his thoughts for however long he's traveling for. It's not like hours, it's probably days, weeks, or months, or maybe even years. I don't know how long it is that he has to travel from planet to planet, but a very long time, where he's just alone with his thoughts and nothing else around him in the void of space as he travels through. And to me, that would be I look at that and it's it's a very sad and emotional trip that he has to take. So I always thought that'd be a good song. Aquaman, 29. Thought it'd be 7-0, got an 8-0, 459. Spider-Man, 300, first Venom. Yay. We had 3 of these in the auction. 6.5, 419. I'm hoping that this video works, because I do not want to do this again. 252. What is it? Which one is this? The 9.2. That'll be 9.4. 249. Because it's not fun talking about the same books that you just talked about yesterday. It really isn't. 149. 194. First Black Cat. 229. Also, for those who don't know that I do music, write and all this kind of stuff, I just released a new song called Fighter. Check it out. I think I have a link in my description to, if you have Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use to listen to music on, it's there. It is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Spider-Man 135. I thought it'd be an 8-0, 349. Even though this is the second appearance of the Punisher, I'm pretty sure he appears in 134. I know it's like one panel or something like that, so I don't know. It's like technically his third appearance. I don't know. First Man-Wolf, 124. 129. Man, this book has dropped a ton. This book used to be expensive. Now it's all worthless. Not worthless, but dropped like, I don't know. I'll have to throw it in. I'm going to guess like 70%. That's what I'm going to guess on this one. 70% has dropped. I haven't done a dropping video on it, but I will. And it'll probably be like that. Spider-Man 121. 399. I don't know. I know this is an iconic cover. I've seen it like a million times, and other people have, done an homage to it, but I don't know. It doesn't look that good. These books over there, these are from the auction. This one right here, this Hulk 181, I think it sold for $7,400, and that was a pretty good deal in terms of like the price that it went for. I don't know. It depends on who you are. If you're the seller, it's a good deal. If you're the buyer, you pretty much bought it at fair market value, which is good. Other ones have sold on like Comic Connect and My Comic Shop recently for 7,200, 7,400, 7,600. So right, the same price. So me personally, I'm happy because we got the same price as the bigger people. So that makes me happy that we did that. Obviously the seller's happy because Comic Connect has like 10% seller fees, plus sometimes they have a 15% buyer's premium. They're slowly integrating this buyer's premium thing because they're like, well, how can we make more money? Well, why don't we just offer a buyer's premium? It's like, because we don't want to raise the seller fees. So they're doing a 15% buyer's premium and a 10% seller's fee. So you're losing, it doesn't work out like this, but it's basically around 25% when you sell a book because the buyer knows that, hey, I have to pay a premium, so I'm just going to bid accordingly. You know, no one's like, oh, this book is worth 10,000, let me bid 10,000, and then, oh, whoops, I have an extra, 1,500 in buyer's premium. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. So they'll bid accordingly. So yeah, so you're losing almost 25%. The Heritage, one sold on Heritage, I think for less than what we sold ours for. And, they're looking at 20% buyer's premium plus, depending what book you give them, 5 to 15% seller's fees. So you could be potentially losing 35% on your book. My comic shop, I think, is around 10%. So this is like the standard. But I bet you all these other companies will start raising them, which is great. I hope they all do. I hope they all go to 50%. Heck, go to 99%. That'll be better for me, better for you guys, because you can submit through us because we have 0% fees, no buyer's premium, no seller fees, no listing fees, 100% free.